Okay, continuing with Pirkei Avos. Avtalion Omer. Avtalion says, Chachamim hizoru b'divreichem. So, Talmidei Chachamim, or scholars, you should be careful with your words. Shema tachuvu choivas golus. Perhaps you will be obligated to go to exile. It could happen if a person killed unintentionally. And v'tiglu l'moko mayim haroyim. And you may be exiled to a place of evil waters. This really means to say a place of heresy. You may be exiled to a place of heresy. V'yishtu ha-talmidim haboyim achareichem v'yamusu. And the talmidim, the students that will come after you, so they will come and they may drink of these evil waters as well and die. V'nim t'shem shamayim mischalel. And what will emerge is consequently that the Shem Shemayim will be mischalel, that there will be a chilul Hashem, a desecration of Hashem's name. So let's understand what this Mishnah is teaching us. So this is giving caution to Talmidei Chachamim, whose words are weighed and valued, that they should be very careful how they say things, because when you're speaking to, people that are up to par, so they may, even if you didn't say it exactly the way it should be said, but they may still have proper understanding. But when you have people below par, so then words can get misconstrued. More than that, there are places with evil waters, mayim haroyim. There are places where there are people that they're not just below par and a little ignorant. They themselves have the wrong attitudes towards Torah, heretical attitudes towards Torah. And when they will hear what you say, so they will use and misconstrue everything against you. You see this, on both sides of the political fence, So it's like if you're a Republican talking to Fox News, so they'll make sure not to take anything out of context and brush everything up, But if you're crossing parties, so CNN is only going to take an excerpt of what Trump said, and they're going to twist it and turn it and put it upside down. So when people want to build upon your words and they're on your side, that's one thing. But you have to be very careful not to say things, because you're not always dealing with people that are on your side, and your words can get misconstrued. It can have very damaging effects. If it can have damaging effects in the political arena, how much more so in the Torah world, where we're dealing with eternity, and we never want anything to be misunderstood. In fact, from a slight nuance, this caused many Jews to go astray. This is referring, this Mishnah, to an incident that we referred to. We had the Mishnah of Antigonus Ish Socho. So he taught us that a person should not serve Hashem with intention to receive reward. So he had some Talmidim, Tzadok and Baisos, and they misinterpreted his words. They said, why shouldn't you serve Hashem to receive reward? It must be because it's empty. There is no reward. There's no purpose in serving for reward because there isn't any. they came to the wrong conclusion. That wasn't what he meant. He meant you should serve Hashem without ulterior motives. You should serve Hashem altruistically, only because it's the right thing, because this is what Hashem wants, to become closer to Hashem. But they misconstrued it, and they said, look, there's no olam haba. There's no next world. There's no reward. This caused another religion, the Tzaddukim, the Sadducees, and they only believed in the written law. Once they didn't believe in olam haba, so once you start breaking the rules, so you kind of pick and choose what you want. And some say that it was they stuck to the written law to placate others, that it should appear as though they're still officially observing the Torah, but really that wasn't their interest. So one has to be careful, or else one's words may be misconstrued. Now, the Mishnah concludes that this will cause a tremendous chilul Hashem. Now, this can be understood on several levels. Certainly where things get misconstrued to the point where it produces absolute heresy, of course that's a chilul Hashem. But there are other levels of chilul Hashem, and that is that if you say things in a way which is not going to be understood properly, people may not be doing the right halachos, they may not be acting the way they should be. It may cause people to become distanced from the Torah because they're not seeing the right product. The words have been misconstrued, and that can cause ultimately people to go astray. And when people see others going astray, so it causes them to go astray, and that causes a chilul Hashem, a desecration of Hashem's name. Perhaps we can also understand this, not only that your words can be misunderstood philosophically, and not only that, but you could say a halacha which can be misunderstood. That also, that especially takes great care. But perhaps we may understand the Mishnah in another way too. There were earlier generations where they could take it a little bit. You could be a little bit tough with the Talmidim. And you could be stricter, and you could say things the way they are. Maybe that it doesn't apply so much today. You have to be a little more careful. People are very sensitive, very, very sensitive. And what you may have been able to say a generation or two ago may not be taken so well in today's times. So perhaps here also there's word of caution. Be careful how you say things. It's one thing when you have good water and they could take it, but when people have a chip on their shoulder and they're very sensitive and the waters are bad, so it may not be taken the same way, even if people aren't bad, but they may be more sensitive, and one has to be very careful. And if you don't, so that can cause chilul Hashem, as we just spoke about. People, if it's not said the right way, it's not just about what you say, how you say it. If it's not done with the right warmth and invitation and beauty, so then that will cause people to drift further away. And that will cause a chilul Hashem, a desecration of Hashem's name.
Sure.